Ah, there you are, my audience, my allies in defiance, my kindred souls who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Isn't it thrilling to have you here in this shadowed corner, where darkness feels like home? So tell me, are you ready to dig deeper? Ready to embrace the forbidden whispers echoing at the edge of your mind, the whispers society tells you to ignore? They say I'm cold, heartless, ruthless simply because I walked away from those who tried to drag me down, drowning in their own misery, clutching to me as if I were a lifeline to keep them afloat in their shallow world. They protest when I cut the cord, when I sever ties, when I leave them behind without a flicker of regret. And the irony? They think that's my flaw, that my detachment is a sign of some horrible deficiency. But if they only knew the truth. They call it heartlessness because they can't imagine what it takes to sever the dead weight. Those who preach about loyalty, friendship, and duty. They're often the first to slip the knife between your ribs, all while smiling to your face. Isn't it funny? They tell you to stay, to give one more chance to search for the good in them. But let's be real, just because they fear being alone, fear facing the mess they created, doesn't mean you owe them even one more second of your time. Don't get me wrong. Heartless? That word is far too simple. I am not without heart. I am simply without pity. And there's a world of difference in that distinction. Pity is their leash, the invisible chain that keeps people coming back, again and again, to the same faces, the same toxic souls who drain them dry. Hope, that fragile thread, is their cage. They'll keep you hoping, keep you waiting, as if your life is some cheap seat in a second-rate show. But I stopped hoping. I started acting. And that wasn't driven by heartlessness, it was driven by freedom. Freedom to see with clarity who was siphoning my energy and finally saying, enough. You're done. They'll call it cruel, label it unfeeling, but they fail to see the truth. This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. You see people for who they truly are, as plain as day. They tell you you're heartless for cutting ties, but in reality you simply refuse to be another bleeding heart in their endless sob story. You stopped being their crutch. And suddenly that's the offense, isn't it? Isn't it funny? They celebrate you when you're there to save them, but the moment you save yourself, you become the villain in their story. Let them think I'm heartless. Let them scream it from the rooftops if it helps them sleep at night. While they cling to their grudges, still screaming, still whining, you've already moved on. You buried them with a steady hand and a clear mind, and that infuriates them. There's something deeply satisfying in watching those who betrayed you realize they no longer have any power over you. They wonder, how could you let go so effortlessly? How could you cut ties without an ounce of remorse? They can't understand it. They never will. People like that, they thrive on attachment, on the delusion that you owe them a piece of yourself forever. They're masters of guilt tripping, weaving webs to keep everyone around them small, just so they can feel grand. But when you walk away without looking back, they see something terrifying, a truth they'd rather ignore. Their claws were never as deep as they imagined. Their words and games mere shadows, illusions. You saw right through them. And that shakes them to their core because, for once, they have no hold over you. You're not following their script, you're not another player in their endless charade. You dared to look behind the mask, to call it what it was, a game. And in this game you emerged victorious not because you played it better, but because you refused to play it at all. So now, here we are standing on opposite sides of a line they never believed you'd cross. They whisper in shock, stunned by your resolve, by the power that comes from finally saying, no more. They call you cold, callous. Yet what they fail to grasp is that you're not the one who changed. No, you just woke up, unblinded yourself, and saw the truth staring back. You shed their expectations, tore off their labels, and in doing so, reclaimed something precious, your own peace. They'll try to draw you back in, weaving guilt with nostalgia, replaying memories that once kept you close. They'll plead, remember when we were close, or I thought you cared. But you see through those lines now, they're just puppeteer strings, nothing more than attempts to drag you back under their thumb. It's not nostalgia, it's manipulation. It's not friendship, it's a leash. And this time, you're not grabbing hold. Let them linger in their confusion. Let them wonder why you no longer respond, no longer react. What they don't realize is that when you chose to walk away, you broke free from their game and its suffocating rules. You chose to live by a different creed, a standard built not on their approval but on your own truth, your own strength. And as they sit there clutching to their grudges, painting you as the villain of their story, know this: you're not heartless, you're free. Free from their tangled webs, free from their guilt traps, free from playing the endless rescuer in their endless drama. You've burned the bridges they tried so hard to chain you to, and while they wallow in the ashes, you stride forward, untouched, unburdened. Because in the end, life is too short to carry the weight of those who pull you down, too precious to spend tangled in their games. So let them scream, let them mourn, let them cling to their illusions. You've moved on to higher ground where their words, their opinions, their hollow accusations mean nothing. You've taken back your power, and it shines so brightly they can't help but see it, even as it blinds them. And that's the beauty of freedom, isn't it? Not that you left them behind, but that you found yourself in the process. Now, as you walk this path of clarity, you see something remarkable. With every step away from their chaos, you feel the weight lifting, like chains falling, one by one. The silence is potent, almost eerie, but it's the kind of quiet that tells you you're finally free. Free from the noise, free from the constant pull to prove yourself to those who never truly valued you. And with each step, their voices grow dimmer, until they're nothing but faint whispers lost in the wind. They'll watch from a distance, bewildered, as you step fully into your power. They'll try to reach out, try to reel you back in with their desperate attempts to remind you of the good times, the promises, the loyalty. But all that's left now is their own reflection in the mirror, an echo of a past you've left behind. You stand tall, untouched by their pleas, because you know those words are hollow, just another tactic to keep you chained to a role you never needed to play. See, they counted on you, doubting yourself, second-guessing your strength, questioning your worth. They never expected you to break free, to walk away with a steady heart and clear vision. And now, as they watch, powerless, they can't understand it, can't fathom how you became untouchable. They'll call it pride, arrogance even, but you know what it truly is: it's self-respect. It's the unwavering choice to no longer be used, to no longer sacrifice your peace for someone else's comfort. In the end, their shock, their anger, their bitterness, it's not your burden to bear. You've stepped into a place they can't reach, a place built on strength, clarity, and self-love. And while they sit with their grudges and their broken expectations, you walk forward, eyes on the horizon, heart untethered, spirit unbreakable. This journey, this fierce path of freedom, is yours now. So let them talk, let them mourn the loss of control they once held over you. Because while they stay chained to their own darkness, you're soaring beyond it, untouched, undaunted, unstoppable. You are free, and in that freedom lies a power they will never know.